Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on this Thursday. It is Thanksgiving Day, Heidi.
It is. Happy Thanksgiving.
Oh, happy Thanksgiving to you as well. You know who we're going to talk to for a guest today?
Who?
Courtney Scott. She's a travel expert with a little site called Expedia. Now, I know you probably never heard of those guys.
Never heard
but
of it.
Yeah, I'm sure you have. Travel expert from Expedia, and I believe she's calling me from Disney today.
Wow.
Thanks, Courtney Scott. She's always got all kinds of great ideas for traveling during the holidays and all kinds of fun stuff. So we're going to be chatting with her later in the program. Also, when a horned lizard gets angry, they shoot blood out of their eyes.
Ew.
I think Heidi does that too. Researchers in Paris discovered that lizards have personalities. Funny thing is, in Paris, lizards have personalities, but people don't. All right. Something to be thankful for. My awful sense of humor. All right. Coming up, we're going to talk about a lot of things on this Thanksgiving Day, and we appreciate you joining us, turkeys, right here on the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. It's Tuesday. No, it's Thursday. It's Wednesday. What today is today?
Thursday.
It's Thursday, November the 24th. Today is Thanksgiving Day, of course. It's also turkey-free Thanksgiving Day. So some people out there saying, hey, don't have a turkey, have something else like, I don't know, styrofoam?
I don't know.
What is that stuff called that tastes like styrofoam that vegetarians eat?
Tofu?
That's the one. So you can have a tofu Thanksgiving.
I don't know what it tastes like. I've never tasted it.
Brownie Locks Day today. It is also Celebrate Your Unique Talent Day. So gather around the table and show everybody what you can do. It's D.B. Cooper Day today. Still one of the most fascinating stories in the history of America, where a guy jumped from an airplane with a bunch of money and nobody ever caught him. He may have died on impact. We don't know.
Sure.
We don't know what happened. National Day of Mourning today as well. So it is also Thanksgiving Day. So a lot of things going on. So get out there and celebrate. Guess which one I'm going to celebrate?
What's that?
My tummy's already rumbling. It says Thanksgiving. That's the one. That's the one we're celebrating.
John and Heidi.
Would you like to lose weight? You could wait till New Year's to make a resolution, but most people that do that are done with them in a few weeks. No, they don't hit their goal. They just give up. If you struggle to keep your weight where you'd like it, maybe you should consider hypnosis. Many people have amazing results with hypnosis, and it's not as expensive as you think. We have a special weight loss hypnosis program for just $60 at radiosavings.com. Hypnosis can help reduce the cravings that cause you to overeat. Learn more about this special hypnosis weight loss system from Extreme Power Hypnosis at radiosavings.com.
John and Heidi.
You know it's true because you heard it on the radio just when you thought zero tolerance policies were fading away. They're coming back, and this one's from Florida. 11-year-old honor student suspended for 6 days for bringing a knife to her middle school. Why did she bring a knife? Well, it was a butter knife. She had it with her lunch to cut a peach in half. Her mother, Andrea Suto, said, this is a set of spoon, fork, and knives for toddlers, for 1-year-olds. It's made for children to learn how to eat properly. She's used it since she was a baby. Her father says she was cutting the peach so she could share it with a friend when somebody saw the knife.
Oh, my goodness.
A spokesperson for the Broward County School District wouldn't discuss specifics, but said, and I quote, and I'll say this in my nerdiest school district voice, the school followed district policies regarding the incident and continues to work with the student and parents involved. It is the district's priority to maintain a safe and secure campus for students and staff at all times. Pretty sure that's what they sound like.
That was the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
It was a plastic kid knife that she used to cut a peach in half. It's not like she was, what do you call it? Shanking somebody? It's not what she was doing. School district says the girl violated their weapons policy.
Oh, my gosh.
And resulted for the police department to open an investigation. They turned it over to the state's attorney's office. It's not clear whether the prosecutors will consider criminal charges, but the family's attorney says it's, quote, tragic, end quote, that such a thing could even be a possibility.
That's ridiculous.
When the girl was using a child-proof utensil that could never have been construed as a weapon in any form. So there you go. That happened in Florida because that's where we live these days. Oh, she's got a plastic, what was it called? A toddler knife. She's got a plastic toddler knife. She's probably going to attack somebody with that peach pit she's getting cut out of there. Anyway, coming up, we've got your brain on drugs. You know this one's true because you heard it on the radio.
John and Heidi.
The John and Heidi Show is brought to you in part by the Keystone Treatment Center.
This is your brain, and this is your brain on drugs. We share silly stories here on the program, but addiction is no joke. If you or someone you know suffers with an addiction to drugs or alcohol, make today the day you seek help.
Call toll-free 844-204-1055.
That's a toll-free number. Again,
844-204-1055.
and this is your brain on drugs. She huffed and she puffed and she got busted. Officers in Forest City, Arkansas say they got a complaint about a woman huffing on a can of compressed air.
Oh, wow.
Authorities say Catherine K. Sweet was in a car at a Walmart and was slow to respond to officers when police took her car away. She says, what? When police took her can away, that makes more sense. She was huffing canned air. When police took her can away, officers said she asked for it back so she could finish getting high. That's not good. She did not get her can back. But she did get to go to a trip to the cooler at jail. Sweet was booked for public intoxication and later released. So there you go. Sorry that I stumbled through that whole story.
That's all right. It's early.
It is, and it's Thanksgiving, so cut me some slack, man. I should be stuffing my face right now. All kinds of goblets and giblets and... What are goblets? That's not a thing, is it?
Giblets.
Giblets? I don't know. Giblets, giblets. I don't think I'd go for any of that stuff. I like good old turkey, but we'll get to that in a bit. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
Moment of duh is your worst honeymoon ever. San Jose newlyweds Arnaud and Marie Steele thought they were just going to take a scenic 1-hour hike and go look at a waterfall in Castle Rock State Park. Instead, they got lost, spent 5 grueling days in the wilderness. That would stink.
Oh, boy.
Santa Cruz Mountains, that's where they were, had to be rescued. The couple spent the night in a cave for 2 nights, spent another 2 nights in a hollowed-out tree. They weren't exactly prepared for the occasion. Both left their coats in the car. They brought along no food. The gentleman is a 29-year-old Silicon Valley engineer. He was wearing shorts. They finally emerged from the backcountry relatively unscathed. After a massive search, Santa Clara County Sheriff Lieutenant Mark Estes said they were cold, they were tired, and they were hungry, but in pretty good spirits. Both were able to walk at least part of the way out with the rescue team. She said she had to be carried on the last leg on a stretcher. So there you go. So that was their honeymoon. So
How romantic.
the good news is you got nowhere to go but up. I mean, unless your marriage is awful, I think you're going to beat your honeymoon. Coming up, we've got your scoop of the day. That's on the way.
The Scoop of the Day is brought to you by Wells Blue Bunny. If you want delicious ice cream, be sure to look for the Blue Bunny. Sure to have your favorite flavors. Learn more at bluebunny.com.
Now your scoop of the day, and we got all kinds of Thanksgiving stuff that if I don't use it today, Heidi, I can't use it
can't use it
tomorrow
for a year?
because it would be leftovers. And who wants that tomorrow? See? Some good news for those of you annual diners who are not excited about buying that meal today. The good news is the meal is going to be a little bit less, 24 cents less than last year. So $49.87. I got a link to all of our stories for the Scoop of the Day today on our Facebook page. So you can share those. And if there's, today, if dinner conversation gets boring, go to facebook.com/John and Heidi Show and say, did you know that the meal was 24 cents cheaper than last year? Good information to have.
Wow.
Thanks, Grandma. Hey, in the spirit of Thanksgiving, police officers in Fort Worth, Texas recently handed out turkeys instead of tickets for minor traffic violations. Traffic officers with the department made 25 turkey stops and gave out turkeys in lieu of tickets. So next time I get pulled over, I'm going to say, do you have a turkey for me? Chances are the answer will be no. You can watch the video, though. It is pretty cool at facebook.com/John and Heidi Show. Have you ever heard of StoryCorps?
No.
They're asking younger listeners to help them preserve history by recording Thanksgiving conversations with their elders using the StoryCorps app. StoryCorps made their mission to collect and preserve audio conversations from every corner of the country. Their app can be downloaded on smartphones or the App Store or Google Play or wherever. These conversations will be preserved at the Library of Congress. StoryCorps is calling it the Great Thanksgiving Listen. Last year, guess how many they collected from Thanksgiving?
How many?
50,000.
Wow.
Yeah. A lot of grandpas saying, pull my finger on those recordings, I'm sure. If you'd like to know more, we have a link at facebook.com/John and Heidi Show. Moving right along. If you're traveling today for the Thanksgiving holiday, you may or may not be stuck somewhere. This story was written yesterday, so I'm not sure if it happened, but says hundreds of workers at Chicago O'Hare International Airport are planning to strike during the Thanksgiving holiday.
Oh, great.
One of the busiest times of one of the country's busiest airports. They threatened to strike, including janitors, baggage handlers, cabin cleaners, and wheelchair attendants. The city's aviation department says it was committed to ongoing dialogue, and they said they do not expect any disruption in service. You can read more about it on their page, and I've got a link to their page on our page, facebook.com/John and Heidi Show. Now, I ran out of stories that have links, but I've got a couple more here that are Thanksgiving related, like this one. As we prepare for Thanksgiving, it could be said the first celebrants of Thanksgiving in reality had little to be thankful for, yet they gave thanks. Many of the original group of pilgrims died from disease and starvation while searching for religious freedom in the New World. They were homesick for loved ones that were left behind. They grieved that they were forced to leave their homeland because of religious persecution. They had completed a dangerous and miserable trip across the Atlantic Ocean. They risked everything to come to a place that turned out to be cold and in many ways unwelcoming, yet they still gave thanks. So with that in mind, think about your situation today and think about all of the things that you do have to be thankful for. I know things might not be perfect for you. Heidi, are things perfect for you?
Oh, no.
No, things are not perfect for me. But you know what? I'm going to look beyond all of the little things that are going on that are not perfect, and I'm going to be thankful for those things that are perfect. Like, my wife. Okay, maybe you're not perfect, but you are perfect for me. So there you go. Coming up, we've got a special guest. We're going to be talking about traveling with Courtney Scott. She's somewhere warm and awesome today, I'm sure. And then later in the program, we have some fun facts for you. It's all on the way on the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
We just wrapped up one of the most contentious elections in the history of our nation. Some are excited about the outcome, others not so excited. We want to remind you that we're still one nation, under God, indivisible. We've made it through many things, and we'll make it through this too. Let's do it together. At politicalstorm.com, we've been covering this election from both sides, and we want to thank the many contributors that have helped make that possible. We also invite you to become a contributor too with a free blog. Let's share all of the reasons to come together and unify as a nation. Share your voice at politicalstorm.com.
John and Heidi.
Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show on this Thanksgiving Day. I'm excited to be chatting right now with a travel expert, Courtney Scott. We've talked to her a few times in the past, and it's always exciting to visit with her because she's always somewhere cool. Today, she's in Disneyland. Yeah. Happy Thanksgiving, Courtney. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Very good. Well, I'm not doing Disneyland good. I mean, you're there having fun, and I'm here working. But other than that, I'm still doing good. Now, as you travel all over the place, what are some of your fun tips that people maybe should remember when they're traveling to maybe save a little bit of money?
Well, one of the easiest tips on saving money for the holiday travel season is to book a vacation package. At Expedia, we found that you can save up to $600 by simply bundling your travel together. So similarly to the way we bundle our cable and internet and telephone, you can do the same with travel. So you can, book your rental car with your hotel or your flight with your hotel and save up to $600. In fact, for packages to Mexico, Caribbean, and Hawaii, we've seen an even deeper savings of $800 to even $1,000 on vacation packages. So that's one of the easiest ways to save.
How far in advance should I be doing this? Is it best to plan far in advance, or is it better to say, I'm going to wait till the week of, or when is the best time to do the bookings?
It's a great question, and one we get often at Expedia. Well, we looked at Thanksgiving this year, and the highest savings happen between 21 and 30 days in advance of your travel. In 2015, $345 was the average ticket price for the 21 to 30-day window versus $365 as the average ticket price for the 31 to 60-day window. And the price went even higher as we got closer to the Thanksgiving holiday. But when we look at Christmas holiday travel, it's interesting. 7 to 13 days out is when we saw that the best flight to book. About $415 was the average there based on 2015 data. So, it may pay off for the Christmas holiday to book that last-minute flight.
Very nice. And does it kind of depend on where you're going on that, or is that kind of no matter where you're going?
It depends on where you're going, depends on whether you're traveling domestically or internationally. Typically, with an international flight, it pays to book a little bit further out. But, my rule of thumb is if you see a deal that works for your budget at the time that you see it, just go ahead and book it.
Again, visiting with travel expert Courtney Scott, and we're talking about some ways to save some money when you're traveling and get the best deal as you're traveling. What are some of the top hotspots for travel deals this winter?
Well, if you've been California dreaming this holiday season, this is the time to go. All three major cities, Los Angeles, San Francisco, and San Diego, are in our top 10 holiday value destinations for vacation packages. In fact, San Diego is seeing a savings of over 25% on vacation packages. And if you're looking for some fun in the sun and want to get out and go internationally, look at Mexico, Isla Mujeres, Cancun, Tulum, one of my favorite cities. All really fantastic deals, more than 25% off on vacation packages, and Los Cabos even more, 30% off.
That is awesome. You are at Disneyland right now. Now, Disneyland and Disney World and all of those fun things, as people are trying to put together an unforgettable vacation, if they want to include Disney, do you have any fun tips for traveling to Disney during the holidays?
Well, the holidays really come alive at Disneyland. I'm outside of the Haunted Mansion right now, where Jack Skellington has decked the halls of the manor for some really spooky holiday fun. This is not to be missed. It runs through January 8th. But, all throughout November and December, Disneyland transforms into a winter wonderland. There's the Christmas Fantasy Parade, It's a Small World holiday, and the Jingle Cruise, a very holiday edition of the classic Jungle Cruise. So that's just the beginning of the list of all the fun holiday magic that you can experience all throughout the Disney theme park.
And that's one of the nice things about where they're located. They've got, in Florida and California, Southern California, it's not like it gets too cold to do that in the winter. So if you live in an area where it gets cold and you're saying, I want to go somewhere warm, that could be somewhere warm, couldn't it?
Perfect warm weather family destination. Hit the park in the morning and the pool in the afternoon. A really ideal way to spend the holidays.
I remember when my wife and I went there, our son was just a little boy. We were in Florida in the wintertime, and we went out to the pool to go swimming, and somebody came out to see if we fell in because they said, oh, what are you doing? It's too cold to swim. I'm like, where I'm from, this is beautiful. So,
yes, I'm from New York, and I will take a 75-degree pool any day.
Well, now how does one become a travel expert? How did you decide I'm gonna focus my career on traveling? How in the world does that happen?
Well, you know what? I started as a travel blogger and started writing about my experience traveling internationally, and one thing led to another, and here I am working with Disneyland and Expedia. So it's been a really fantastic journey. And it's really exciting to be at Disneyland for the holidays.
Well, congratulations on living the dream. That is really, really cool. Courtney Scott is our guest today. Courtney, thank you again.
Thank you, and happy holidays.
Yes, happy holidays to you, and happy Thanksgiving. Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show on this Thanksgiving Day.
John and Heidi.
Are you ready for Duel? Kyle Dowling on guitar, Brett Gunderson on bass, Sam DeVito on drums, and frontman Duel Shape.
Gotta keep rocking, gotta keep sucking, bringing it down like rain.
Duel's new single just hit iTunes and it's selling fast. Get your copy now.
When you're locked in chains and you feel no pain, Supernova gonna get you too.
Their first single, Supernova, is available now for less than $1. Learn more and find a direct link to buy Supernova at facebook.com/duelrocks.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
In an earthquake, a 6 on the Richter scale is actually more than 30 times more powerful than a 5 on the Richter scale.
Oh.
So apparently that scale is kind of
The scale needs to be revamped.
Yeah. Each unit on the Richter scale is equivalent to a power factor of about 32. So
Wow.
6 is 32 times more powerful than 5. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The anemometer. Anemometer. Is that how you'd say that? How would you say that?
I have no clue what you're even saying.
The anemometer is an instrument which measures the force of velocity or pressure of the wind. So it's the wind gauge. It's an anemometer, that thing.
Okay.
Hey, fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
It took more than 1,000 years to build the Notre Dame Cathedral.
Huh?
Yeah. So Next time you're complaining about road traffic on a specific road in the neighborhood here, how long is that going to take? Just be glad that it wasn't the Notre Dame Cathedral.
I think that's about how long road construction has been going on.
Kind of
here in
feels
our
like
community.
it some days, yeah. It says the construction started in 1050, was not finished until 1439. And our final fun fact for you, Heidi.
What is that, John?
Nobody is buried in Grant's tomb. So somebody says, who's buried in Grant's tomb? The answer is nobody. President and Mrs. Grant are entombed there. A body is buried only when it's placed in the ground and covered with dirt. So if they say who's buried in Grant's tomb, the real answer is nobody.
Nobody's buried.
Who's in the tomb? That's a whole different question.
That's right.
All right. Couple of fun facts for you on Thanksgiving Day.
John and Heidi.
This is the world's first and only 7-time lottery game grand prize winner. Since I endorsed Lottolicious, I have won something every single draw. When you join, you'll be giving them the set of numbers that you want them to play, and that's what they will play for you. You don't have to worry about running to the store to buy your tickets. They take care of all that. So if you're looking for the best way to play the lottery, go to radiolottopool.com and join today. Again, that's radiolottopool.com.
John and Heidi.
Thanks for listening on Thanksgiving. This is a time of year where people start to get, funky feelings. Like my beautiful wife, Heidi. You're not feeling hot today.
I'm not feeling good today, no.
And I got a little something going on here, too. And don't go outside with wet hair, they say. Cover your mouth when you cough, they say. Mom was right when it comes to cold and flu tips that she taught us. Do you think she was? We're going to talk about that right now. Says here, let me read classic mom cold and flu tips. Okay, it says, you'll get sick if you go outside with in the cold with wet hair.
That is not true.
Yeah, it says exposure to viruses, not skipping the blow dryer, is what causes the cold and flu. So, no, that's not going to happen. It says feed a cold, starve a fever. You think that's true?
I don't know.
Half right. When you're congested, nutritious foods will fortify your immune system, but when you're feverish, your metabolism is revved up and you need more energy, so not fewer calories. To fight off infections, bottom line, stay hydrated and eat well no matter what the symptoms are. So feed it and feed it. Don't starve anything. How about avoid dairy when you have a cold? There's no medical basis to skip dairy when you're sick. Many people, including some pediatricians, believe dairy products increase mucus.
Yeah, that's what I
However,
was just
research
gonna say.
says that's a placebo effect, so don't worry about it. How about this one? You lose most of your body heat through your head.
No.
So it says it's wise to keep a hat on your head. Keeps you cozy. But technically, you don't lose more body heat through your head, about 10%, by the way, than you do in other places. So they're saying it's not really as big a deal as everybody makes it seem. Last one, have some chicken soup. Do you think that that's actually going to help you?
I don't think that helps. It's easy to eat.
There's
and
something
it's good for your throat.
to this old adage. Researchers from the University of Nebraska Medical Center found that chicken soup prepared with lots of veggies mitigates some of the inflammation responsible for cold symptoms like runny noses and congestion. So if you're just getting noodles and chicken, probably not going to do a lot.
And if you're just eating the canned soup, it's probably not going to do a lot. I think they're talking homemade with fresh vegetables. Lots of them.
Last two on here. Cover your mouth when you cough. Although you might look polite, and it says, although this might look polite and germ preventing, it's anything but. You're not supposed to cover it with your hand. You're supposed to cough into your arm. Yeah, I can't do that. I have T-Rex arms. I can't. I'm like, I got T-Rex. How much? So that's a little closer. I'm like, I don't know. I can't do that. So there you go. A couple of cold and flu tips, and I got more of that stuff on the way. We got something from the Center for Disease Control we're going to chat about in a bit.
John and Heidi.
When is the last time you changed the air filter on your furnace? Now, don't be embarrassed. That happens to a bunch of us. The furnace filter should be changed often. This will help your heating and cooling system run more efficiently, and it'll even extend the life of your system. Now, there's an easy way to make it happen. Filter Easy, a new subscription service that delivers your size filter right to your door on the schedule you choose. It's easy. Filter Easy. One less thing to worry about. Learn about a special offer available now at radiosavings.com.
John and Heidi.
I think it's fitting that we're talking about sick stories right now because you're not feeling too hot.
I'm not at all.
Yeah,
today.
flu season is almost here. Experts say now is the best time to get a flu shot because it takes about 2 weeks to develop the antibody response. Doctors from Loyola University Strick College, Chicago School of Medicine, I might have got some of that wrong. Anyway, each year They say there's about 200,000 flu victims that are hospitalized. About 36,000 people die from the flu. Yeah, that sucks. Center for Disease Control and Prevention recommends vaccines for all children aged 6 months to 5 years, anyone that's pregnant, and people aged 50 and older. Healthcare workers also, and anyone with chronic illnesses like asthma, diabetes, or heart disease. To find out where flu shots are available in your area, there's a website, findaflushot.com, and I've got a link to that at facebook.com/John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
I know I've read this story before, but I need to read it again, Heidi, because today is a great day to be thankful for things. And these guys definitely have something to be thankful for. I almost included this as our good news story for the day.
Okay.
An 18-month-old boy survived after falling 7 floors and bouncing off a Paris cafe awning into the arms of a passerby.
Oh, wow.
The quote says, "My son saw a little boy on a balcony. He had gone outside the railing. I said to myself, I mustn't miss him." The toddler's savior, a local doctor, Philippe Bangzor, told reporters, "I had time to move from side to side to get in the right position," he added. "The little boy was fine. He cried a little bit, but calmed down straight away." An official involved in the investigation of the incident said the boy had been left alone in the family apartment in northern Paris with his sister by their parents. They were taken into custody afterwards. Turns out the cafe was closed for the day, and the mechanical device for closing the awning wasn't working. So if they hadn't had that awning open, that little boy wouldn't have made it.
Wow.
I mean, that is absolutely crazy. So that is definitely something to be thankful for.
John and Heidi.
We just wrapped up one of the most contentious elections in the history of our nation. Some are excited about the outcome, others not so excited. We want to remind you that we're still one nation, under God, indivisible. We've made it through many things, and we'll make it through this too. Let's do it together. At politicalstorm.com, we've been covering this election from both sides, and we want to thank the many contributors that have helped make that possible. We also invite you to become a contributor too with a free blog. Let's share all of the reasons to come together and unify as a nation. Share your voice at politicalstorm.com.
John and Heidi.
So think about when your birthday is.
Okay.
Now, would it matter if your birthday was one day sooner or one day later? Would it really, really, really matter?
Not to me.
Well, it does to this person. Polo, Missouri is where we're going to head. A woman believes her baby was born minutes before the end of Independence Day in the United States. However, hospital records say that the little baby girl was born on July 5th. Big deal? Yeah, it is to the mother. Sarah Jensen is convinced that she gave birth to her daughter on July 4th at 11:56 p.m. Hospital says no, she was born at 12:04 a.m. on July 5th. Now the mother is out gathering cell phone records, time-stamped photos, and witness accounts and soliciting the help of Missouri State Representative Sam Graves, all because the hospital says her daughter was born 8 minutes later. Now some people think this is ridiculous, and there are other people that say, you know what? If that's her birthday, she should have the right birthday. What do you think of this, Heidi?
I think that if the hospital made a mistake, it should be changed on the record, yeah.
Mommy Jensen has digital photographs showing baby Rebecca in her arms at 11:57 p.m. She was being cleaned by a nurse at 11:59 p.m. Jensen claims the attending nurse told her there were problems with the hospital's computer clock. Jensen says her fight is not to have her daughter's birthday on a holiday, but to correct what she sees as a fundamental error. She says, even if the situation is not resolved, we are going to celebrate Rebecca's birthday on the 4th of July because that is the day she was born. So her birth certificate might be different than her actual birthday. That's where things are going to get confusing. Because someday, when was your birthday? There are a lot of times you need to know your birthday for things. And if you're saying one thing and the records are saying something else, that's going to be a problem. So
I don't know why it would be a problem to fix it. If that's
well, hopefully they can fix it. I don't know. I guess we'll see.
Especially if they can prove it.
Yeah. I mean, she's got photos. I mean, what else do you need?
That's right.
Coming up, we've got some good news that is on the way.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always try to wrap this program up with some good news. We need some today because my wife over here is kind of bummed out. You're not feeling good?
Not feeling good at all.
You're just not your happy, jolly, chipper self.
No, I'm sorry.
Well, take a listen to this, though. The University of Maryland Medical Center found laughter not only improves your mood, Heidi, it can improve your health. That's why you're over there so not feeling so hot, because you're not laughing.
I laugh all the time.
Not today.
Not today, no.
Aside from the rush of those feel-good endorphins you get when you giggle, a good laugh also boosts the production of T cells in the body, which help your immune system fight off disease. A hearty guffaw also appears to be good for your heart. Yeah. Stress is associated with impairment of the productive barrier lining of our blood vessels. This sets the stage for fat or cholesterol buildup in the coronary arteries, and fat and cholesterol buildup in the coronary arteries, and eventually a heart attack. Laughter, though, is a surefire stress buster and a great preventative for heart disease. A good chuckle increases circulation, boosts oxygenation. How would you say that?
Yeah.
Oxygenation? That just doesn't sound right. By moving the body's lymph fluids. It says it also alleviates symptoms of depression, lowers blood pressure, and promotes relaxation. So here's the thing. All of that stuff to just say, if you laugh, you're going to feel better. Mm-hmm. I always feel better when I laugh. I mean, unless, of course, I have a headache and it hurts to laugh.
Yeah.
That happens, and that's not fun. Because I do laugh a lot. I mean, a bunch.
Yeah,
sometimes I laugh when I shouldn't. When I'm hurting, like I shouldn't be laughing. I should be crying right now, but I'm going to laugh instead. Do you remember the time we were on the hammock? We put up a hammock. Heidi said, "Oh, no, these hooks will work." And I said, "No, they won't." She's like, "Yeah, they will." So I put it on. I lay in the hammock and popped out, and I landed on the ground. Not good. Not good at all. All right. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thanks for listening, and have a happy, happy Thanksgiving from our home to yours.